now solving for a variable. Okay, if you are good at solving for x, you are good at solving for any variable. In this case, we solve for w. I told you last time, highlight or underline your variable. So you need to get your variable w underlined. Okay, first step, get rid of these 2. You have 2 as a fraction, a denominator. To get rid of it, multiply by 2. So you multiply everything by 2. So 2 times r, 2r, 2 times 4w, 8w, 2 times the fraction, you get only the numerator. You cancel the 2. Now we don't have fraction. Collect the w's together, because you're looking for w, remember. Okay, so I'm going to underline my w again. This is my w. I need to collect it on one side. So to do that, I have to subtract, okay, 3w. Subtract 3w from each side, minus 3w. Some of you, they do it this way. Some, they just transpose or move it to the other side and change the sign. It's up to you. You do it the way you like, okay? As far as you get this, okay? And now move these 2r the way you like. Subtract from each side or just move it and change the sign. You get L minus 2r. And 8 minus 3w, 8 minus 3 is 5. You get 5w. Remember, we're looking for w. The question is look for w. So you divide by 5 each side and you're done. That's your answer. Now this question. Graph the function below and state the slope. As you can see, in this question, they are asking you for the slope. And that's why it's better you find the slope. To find the slope, remember the slope form is on the form y equal mx plus b. And this m is the slope. Just remember this, okay? So if you want to find the slope, you need to change your equation on this form. And that's why here they have changed it to this form. Can you see? It's on the form, slope-intercept form. If you want to know how to do that, I'm going to show you the steps. It's very simple. Okay, so this is my equation, 7x minus y equals 7. And I need to solve for y. Just solve for y. So I need this y on one side. Okay, so what do? I subtract 7x minus 7x minus 7x. Okay, there are many ways. Maybe some of you, they think to move y to the other side. You can do that, but you can do it anyway. So when you subtract 7x, you get negative y equals minus 7x plus 7. Now you have this minus. To eliminate it, multiply by negative 1. Okay, so you multiply everything by minus, you get y, because minus times minus equals plus, and minus times minus equals plus, so you get 7x, and minus times plus equals minus. That's how you get it. Okay, y equals 7x minus 7. The slope is 7. This is 7, okay, in front of x, and that's why we found the slope is 7. Now, how to draw it? Okay, because we have the slope-intercept form, this form is the slope-intercept form. It's very easy to draw. You go to your y-axis and you put negative 7 on the y-axis. This point, call it negative 7. Okay, and then you draw using the slope. How do you draw using the slope? Go 1 unit to the right and 7 units up. Okay, and you get your point, and then you join your lines, and this is what you have here. Here's negative 7, and then 1 unit to the right and 7 units up. As you can see, this is 7 because you said here it's negative 7. Can you see? Can you see here the scale? Every 1 unit is 7. So make sure you look at the scale. This is not 1. This one is not 1. It's 7. So make sure you be careful at this. This length, one in the grid is 7. It says here 7. It goes in 7. 7 14, 21. And here negative 7, negative 14, negative 21. Okay, so this scale is misleading. Some of you, they might get misled because they go 1 and they think they have to go 7 like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they say the paper is not enough. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they think the line is like this. This is wrong. Make sure you respect the scale. Okay, so this is not 1. This is 7. Is that clear? So be careful at this graph in the exam. Make sure you read the scale properly. Okay, when you read in the axis, read the scale. You need to know what is 1, what is 2, what is 7. And that's it. And you draw your line. Any question? Find the value of x so that the line passing through x negative 7 and 1 and 2 has the given slope, m equals 3. So what do? You just use the definition of the slope, change in y over change in x. Okay, so m equals change in y, which is negative 7 and 2, minus 7 minus 2. I'm doing it another way. Look, here they're doing 2 plus 7. I'm doing this direction. And then x minus, okay, which is the change in x. You have here x and you have here 1. So you do x minus 1, same direction. And then you have the slope given, this slope, m equals 3. So what do? Instead of m, you put 3. Okay, equals, what did they have here? 7. Negative 7 minus 2 is negative 9 over x minus 1. And then cross multiply. This is over 1 and you do your cross multiply. Can you see my screen? Okay, now just cross multiply and you get 3 times x, 3x, 3 times negative 1 is negative 3 equals 1 times negative 9, which is negative 9, and then solve. Plus 3 plus 3. Here we are doing another equation, and you get 3x equals negative 6. Divided by 3, you get x equals negative 2. Can you see I got the same answer? I used a different way to subtract, to do the change in y and change in x, but I got the same answer. You just put your ratio or you put your proportion. This proportion, and you can use the ratios as well to solve this one. So direct proportion, so payment equals constant times w. W is the number of hours, okay, and p is the amount she gets paid. And k equals 12. How do we know that k equals 12? By just substituting, okay? You substitute the information you have. Okay, you have here the payment is 120. So instead of P, you put 120 equals K times W, 120 for 10 hours. Okay, times 10. Divide by 10. Divide by 10. You get K equals 12. And that's how you get K equals 12. And then substitute, you get P equals K, which is 12, times number of hours for the second part of the question. How much for 40 hours? Actually, you can use ratios as well to solve this problem, okay? To use ratios, you can do very simple. You can do this. You can do 120 over 10 hours equals P over 40. And you get the same answer. So you have two ways to answer this, using ratios or using direct proportion. Next question, arithmetic sequence. In this question, they ask you to find the common difference. Okay, so what do? Is just subtract these two numbers. Okay, minus 64 minus negative 34. That's how you do it. Always second minus first. Okay, and then this gives you minus 64 plus 34. Which is exactly negative 30. Okay? That's how you calculate the common difference. Now the next question, given the first term is 35 and the common difference, this d is the common difference, okay? Negative 20, find the equation of the nth term and the next four terms. So the equation of the nth term is using the formula, okay? So an is the nth term equals the first term, a1, if you remember the formula, plus n minus 1 times d. This is your formula. And then you substitute, you get this. Okay? So if you substitute, you get an equals, a1 is given 35, so you put 35 here, plus n, you leave it n, okay? You don't need to worry about n, because they said the nth, they didn't say the 10th or the 20th, so you leave it n, times d, and d is negative 20. Okay, as you can see, they left it like this. You might get different versions in the answer. You might get it simplified. If you get it simplified, you can simplify your answer, multiply negative 20 over the bracket, okay? So let's simplify it for you. an equals 35 minus 20n, and minus 20 times minus 1 equals plus 20, plus 20. And that means an equals negative 20n, I put it in order, and then 20 and 35 is 55. So you might get this option in your answer in the exam. So you might get it on this form, you might get it on this form, or you get it on this form. You have to be smart to know that you can simplify to get the form given in the question. Okay, right. So we finished this one. Now the next part is find the next four terms. The next four terms, you can use this, or you can use just the difference. So the first one is 35. The next one is 35 plus negative 20, okay, which is 35 minus 20, which is 15. The next one is 15 plus the difference, negative 20, which is negative 5. The next one is negative 5 plus the common difference. So it gives you negative 25, and so on. Every time you add this common difference, and you get all your terms. If they ask for 20, you give them 20. If they ask 2, you give them 2. It depends on how many terms they want. Here they want the next four terms. So this is my first one, 35, and then these are the next four. Second, third, fourth, fifth. So they are 4 after 35. Any question? Okay, so you're not asking. What is the equation in slope-intercept form for each linear function graphed below, a and b? I've changed slightly this from the revision sheet. The revision sheet, they're asking only a, and they give you multiple choice. I've changed it because I want to do both of them. Okay, so let's start with a. A slope-intercept, remember, it's y equals mx plus b. M is the slope, b is the intercept. This is the second time we'll talk about it today, okay? So I go to A. I try to find the slope, okay? Actually, if you look at A, this point is the intercept. Who can tell me what's the value of y for this point? Are you here?
Yes.
Who can try? Just try. You lose nothing. Just tell me how much is this on the y, on this axis, on the y-axis.
1.
Well done.
3.
No, it's 1. Look, this is 5. Can you see it? So I'm going to delete it and count for you. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 1. And this is your intercept. This is your b. Okay, now we need to find the slope. So if I want to go from this point to this point, I count the run and the rise. So the run are 3. And the rise actually is down 2. Okay? So it's negative 2 over 3. That's your slope. M equals negative 2 over 3. Now we go to the equation. So y equals negative 2 over 3, which is the slope, times x plus b, which is 1. Any question? No. Okay, I explained to you how to get, yes.
No.
Okay, fine. If you want me to repeat, I can repeat. However, I'm going to repeat with line B. So if you're not clear about line X, just pay attention to line B. I'm going to explain again with line B. I'll go to the intercept. This is my intercept. The y-intercept, remember? The y-axis, okay? The y-axis, this axis. The y-intercept, okay? So, what is the y-intercept? Who can tell me? What is this y?
-4.
1, 2, 3.
-3.
-3. Now the slope. Make sure when you calculate the slope, you use 2 points on the grid. One of them is this one, -3, this point, because you already located it. And then I can choose this point. Can you see it's on the grid? I'm not choosing this one. Very silly if I choose this one. So I choose this one. And I draw my rise and run. Who can tell me what is the run? What is the rise? What is the run?
-2.
It's going positive, going this direction.
No, 2.
This is positive, so this is 2. What is the rise?
5.
2, 3, 4, 5. Plus or minus?
Minus.
Is it going up or going down? You go like this, up. Can you see? If you want to go, you go right, and then you go up. Can you see? So you're going up, so it's plus. So it's +5. So my slope M equals 5 over 2. Now I have the slope, and I have the intercept. Okay, my intercept is -3. This is B. Okay, and this is M. From the graph, you get them easily. Just put in the equation. Y equals MB, which is 5 over 2, x, mx, plus B, which is plus -3. Of course, you don't leave it plus -3, yes? So plus negative plus minus is minus. So you get 5 over 2x minus 3. That's your y. Okay. Here we are. Make sure you revise all this, okay? Now, let me go to the next question. They want the equation of a line that goes through these 2 points. So, we repeat again. We find the slope. Change in y over change in x. This is change in y over change in x. Okay, -5, -3. -5 minus -3. Minus -3 is +3. That's why they put -5 plus 3. Okay, and then -2 minus -3. And that's why they put +3 again. Okay. And now just simplify. Make sure you know that -5 plus 3 equals -2. Okay, that's your numerator. And -2 plus 3 in the denominator equals 1. And that's why they put 1 here. And then make sure you know that -2 divided by 1 equals -2. And that's your slope. Okay. After this, you use the formula for slope point. Slope point. Okay, y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1. Take note of this formula if you forgot it. Take note of it because I'm going to delete it. Okay, so minus y1, you can take any point. You can take this point, you can take this point. They have taken the 5. That means they've taken the first point, which is this one. Okay, so y1 is negative 5. So you say y minus negative 5 equals, the slope is negative 2. This is my m, negative 2 times x minus x1. x1 is negative 2 minus negative 2. Minus with minus, negative is plus, and that's why they put this plus 5 here, y plus 5. Y minus negative 5 is y plus 5. And then this minus with this minus becomes plus. Remember, minus minus plus. And the negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And negative 2 times plus 4 is negative 4. Okay, let me clear this so you understand. So I explained to you up to here. What they have done next, they subtracted 5 because they want the slope-intercept form. Minus 5 minus 5 from each side, you get negative 9. Negative 4 and negative minus 5 equals negative 9, and you get your slope-intercept form for the equation through these 2 points. Next question, which the following represents the equation of straight line that is parallel to the x-axis? Remember, parallel to the x-axis is like this. This is your x-axis. Parallel to x-axis is always y equals a number. So don't take the x. So you have 2 options. Y equals 9, y equal to x. Y equal to x is not parallel to the x-axis. The y equal to x is like this. Okay, because there is x. So it has to be y equals constant. Okay, constant. And that's why you take this option. There is only one option here. Okay, remember, horizontal line or parallel to the x-axis, always y equals a constant, equals a number. There is no variable in it. The only variable is y. Now, which of the following linear equation has a slope negative 1? This is slope 0, so don't be silly. Okay. Now, they've taken this option. How do they know? Actually, it's easy. You have to make it y equals slope-intercept form. So you have to move this x to the second side, and you get y equals negative x plus 1. As you can see, this is your m. Negative x means negative 1 times x. Okay, and that's why the slope is negative 1. Okay, is this clear? Now I ask a question. What is the slope of this one in D? What is the slope here? Who can tell me?
Negative 1.
No.
X.
No.
1.
Okay, going to you. 1. 1 minus x equals negative 1. You have first to move this negative x to the second side. You get y. You have to change the sign because you add it. You get x minus 1. As you can see, this is like 1x minus 1. So your m equals 1. So your slope is 1. Okay.